He bombs away, deep left field, and goodbye. His 31st career home run against the Detroit Tigers makes it 4-0 Cleveland.
It's a little bit of a shock, even when you know they're looking to do something like that. But yeah, I mean, I think I've been in this situation before, so it wasn't like, I feel like that makes it a little bit easier. My wife's dealt with it too, so I think we're ready to go help another team.
The Cleveland Guardians just did exactly what we thought they wouldn't do. The Dolans went out and got a player to help this team with their push to being a true contender instead of just watching everyone around them make all the trades. I truly do believe the Guardians have a special group of players this year, even with all the ups and downs, and they are just one arm away from being a team that the entire league fears. And who knows, by the time I post this video, another trade could have already been made. But yeah, it's been a while since I made a video about this team, so I have a lot to talk about. I want to talk about the Lane Thomas deal, the recent series win over the #1 team in baseball, the blowout win over Detroit, and really, just everything going on over the past month or so. But before I begin, I would really appreciate it if you would drop a like and subscribe. It only takes 5 seconds, plus you can always change your mind. We are on the road to 40k subscribers, and with your support, I believe we can get there super fast. Alright, so the Guardians just made a big move, acquiring outfielder Lane Thomas from the Washington Nationals. He's a very solid player that is coming off a breakout year in 2023 where he hit .268 with 28 homers and 20 stolen bases. This season, he's been batting .253 with 8 homers and 28 stolen bases. He's expected to slide right into center field, which could slide Martinez over to shortstop, which should significantly give this lineup a boost right away. Lane Thomas was a guy many Guards insiders have been talking about for a while, and I almost couldn't believe my eyes when I saw this trade, because the Dolans never go all in, and it really did seem like they were going to sit still at the deadline, but now they got their guy and are only a pitcher away from being a real threat. And speaking of boosts, how about that series win against the Phillies? The Guardians showed some real grit, taking 2 out of 3 from a tough Philly team on the road. It's exactly the kind of momentum they need heading into the final stretch of the season. That's one thing many people don't realize about the 2024 Cleveland Guardians. They haven't just been beating up on below 500 teams, they've been handling business against some of the best teams in the league, especially at Progressive Field, which is where most of their playoff games will be if they can hold on to the 1 or 2 seed in the AL. Now let's talk a little bit about manager Stephen Vogt. In his first year in control, he has been very impressive, guiding this young team with a steady hand. His leadership has been crucial in developing the Guards' young talent and really just keeping everyone happy and ready to go. I love that he came into this job wanting to learn and not thinking that he knew it all already. And speaking of young talent, how about Jhonkensy Noel, aka Big Christmas, and Angel Martinez? These guys have really stepped up lately. Noel has been seeing time in right field and at DH, and has showcased a lot of power, basically almost sort of saving the season with that 3-run bomb against the Phillies. I know that's probably a stretch to say, but you could just see the entire vibe of the dugout change. And after that, they went on to win the game, and then they put a whooping on the Tigers in Game 1. Meanwhile, Martinez has been making waves with his defensive skills and improving bat. I think he has a lot of potential, and I can't wait to see what the future holds, because he's got all the tools to be an everyday MLB caliber guy. On the pitching front, the starting rotation has been holding its own for the most part, but the bottom of the rotation has definitely struggled, and could be one of the reasons this team doesn't go deep into October. When you got 2024 Cookie Carrasco and some other random pitcher twice a week, it's going to be tough to stay on top, but they've somehow managed to do that up to this point in the season. I truly do think if the Guards get one more quality guy, and you have a rotation of Bybee, Ben Lively, and like a Jack Flaherty or something, that this is a rotation nobody really wants to mess with. But until that happens, I can be excited about this team, but I can't truly be confident, because the bullpen can only do so much if you start the game out down by multiple runs. And speaking of that bullpen, I don't know if words can even describe just how dominant they've been. Hunter Gaddis had a crazy month of July, not allowing any runs until today. Cade Smith has been a flamethrower, and Emmanuel Clase just isn't human. I mean, we're talking about a sub-1 ERA heading into August. I don't think that's ever been done before, and I do know for a fact that at this pace, he will break the record for the lowest ERA in MLB history. So what we are seeing from him is historical, and it's nice knowing that once you get through the 8th inning, the game is over. Anyways, getting back to the position players, with the addition of Lane Thomas, this is what I think the everyday lineup should look like. You've got Steven Kwan batting first, playing in left field, then Angel Martinez can stay in the 2-hole playing shortstop. I'm not really sure what's going to happen with Travis, the first overall pick, but assuming he isn't up for a bit, they'll have Martinez at short batting second, then Jose is obviously third. I kind of like having David Fry batting cleanup. I expect him to do a lot more catching down the stretch of the season, but you can always interchange him with Bo Naylor, who just recently hit a 3-run home run, which he seems to love to do. Then after him, I want Josh Naylor playing first, then I want Lane Thomas in center field to put a righty up to the plate after him, then I want Noel to add a power thread after him at DH or right field, then I want Jimenez, then at 9, that spot can be interchangeable with guys like Freeman, sometimes Noel when he's in the outfield, and Will Brennan. And all of a sudden 1 through 9, this is looking like an absolutely nasty lineup that nobody wants to face in the playoffs. And then if, like I said, you add another pitcher to the rotation and you have the elite bullpen that the Guards have, I don't see why this isn't Cleveland's year to win it all, outside of the fact that it is Cleveland, and there will probably be an unlucky, devastating injury from now and the end of the season. But let's just hope for the best. Alright, so now to talk a little bit about the last few games. The Guards went into Philly for game 1 of the series with Ben Lively on the mound, looking to make a statement. And that's exactly what they did. Lively pitched 6 innings, allowing just 1 run off 3 hits. And the Guards played some small ball to get 3 runs off a David Fry single, a Bo Naylor sac bunt, and then a Martinez single. Game 2 of the series was not too much to write home about with Cookie on the mound, who basically just threw a bunch of cookies. Game 3 did not get off to a good start with Kyle Schwarber homering to put the Phillies up by 3 runs, but after that, as I mentioned earlier, Noel hit one of the biggest home runs of the season to tie the game, and then Quan homered to take the lead, and the bullpen took it from there, with Class A sealing the deal. This win definitely had the Guards feeling pretty good about themselves, and you could see it in their eyes in Game 1 at Detroit. From the jump, the offense was rolling with a 3-run inning, and then a Jose Ramirez 451-foot bomb. And then later on, Bo Naylor also hit a 3-run homer to the corner and right, and then Jose homered again. Hunter Gaddis did finally give up some runs, which was pretty ironic because the Guards just posted about how good he's been on social media. But nonetheless, Cleveland got the easy win to stay the number 1 seed in the American League, and with the Twins losing by double digits to the Mets, it's really starting to look like this team is going to cruise to winning the Central. And who would have thought that that would be the case when the season started? This has just been such a fun season to be a Guardians fan, but ultimately, the Indians did not win in 2016, so the fan base is hungry for a title, and nobody is willing to settle for just this overachieving stuff on a budget. So we will really get to see what this team is made of when the pressure is on, but it's nice to know that the players are young, they have an absolute stud coming up that batted over 400 at Oregon State, and really, the scouting team and development coaches have proven they can keep this team relevant time and time again. That's really all I have to say for this video. Let me know in the comments below what you think about the Lane Thomas trade, and also just what your thoughts are about the Guardians as a whole. Thank you all so much if you made it to this point in the video, and if you enjoyed and haven't yet, please be sure to drop a like and subscribe, and also let me know what you would like to see next. And until then, I will see you all later.